Whatever I am, Zombie Weasel, this is Bloodwash. I'm sure you are familiar with Puppet Combo. They make good games. And if you guys are watching this, keep it up. Please bring the rest of your games to PlayStation. I would love to play them. I asked that because I don't have a computer. Where were you recording? Directly from my PlayStation 5. I did have a take prior to this, but I rambled for far too goddamn long. When I looked at my timer, it starts at 45 minutes. It was at 28 minutes. I rambled for so long. I didn't mean to. Basically, long story short, I was in a spiel of why I thought Microsoft sucked and why I moved to PlayStation. Among other things like VHS and stuff. Which I said I could turn these off, but I feel like they add to it. I related that to how Wrath made me turn it off on Death Road to Canada, because it was making the screen blurry since we were shared playing. And sometimes that does happen, but to me it adds to it because I grew up with VHS tapes. So this is rather nostalgic to me because it's completely accurate. I also mentioned how some tapes would have a tutorial for how to adjust the tracking to get rid of the static, which I still know how to do to this day, I'm pretty sure. In fact, my VHS still works, I just have to figure out how to hook it up to my current TV. But enough about that, let's actually play. Oh, I also said I had another Puppet Combo game. Nun Massacre, but I'm still trying to figure out how to beat that. So, I don't know if I'll ever get to that one. But I digress. I'm sure you're probably thinking something's wrong with you. Well, if you're simulcasting into your TV, you probably think something's wrong with your TV. Nope, just the effect of the game. Oh yeah! One thing I should mention. Puppet Combo, if you watch this, and for anyone who's thinking of making games and want to have them on consoles, don't have your sensitivity so damn high. I'm barely touching and it's all over the place. Okay? Also, another thing I need to point out, and this was happening in Murder House. Did I do another Puppet Combo game? I don't remember. I'd have to look after. Oops. But the settings don't stick sometimes. Also, another thing. It was probably hard for you to do, but I just want to point this out. This is me pressing left. This is me pressing right. It's not completely horizontal. It's all over the place. And that's not me moving too far to the right or left.
What a day. Professor Watt was his usual miserable self, and that test was a killer. Hopefully I can just relax and... Of course, Liam didn't do the laundry or clean. I'll have to do a load of laundry. I have an interview for a job tomorrow and have nothing to wear.
I mean, you can always go naked. Who knows, it might work. Actually, question, would it be reasonable to show up for a job interview if the job is to be a stripper? To be fair, that job is kind of clothing optional. I don't know, for some reason for a job interview like that, it would feel kind of inappropriate to show up in a suit. I don't know. I don't know.
I'll gather these clothes up and head to the laundry room in the basement. I'm going to have to talk to Liam later. I'm too upset and tired to go through it again. He's going to have to pull it together for this baby.
Anyway. Make sure you have it calibrated correctly. I'm sure it's not easy to do that. But good lord, is that awkward to look left and right if I have to, like, just jumping around. That's not me doing it, that's just how this controls. That's really my only complaint, but... Like, you've seen me play other first-person shooters. I can look... So I would not suffer that. See, that looks like I'm using an Etch-a-Sketch. Like, if I turn the horizontal knob, it goes directly left and right. If I use the right one, or the up and down one, vertical, it goes up and down. But if I do it together, that's what that feels like. Not insulting you, that's just constructive criticism. I don't know, I didn't seem to have that particular issue in Murder House. It's just that, and you can watch my Let's Play of it to verify that I'm not lying. I'd have to pause. Wait, let me think. Like, after the... If I were to exit the game and then go back in it, I'd have to... Even though inverted is checked, it acts like it's not. And when it transitions to a new... like, after the prologue to the main game, I have to fix that again. Which, I hate that. Like, it doesn't remember the settings. And this one does that too with the sensitivity. Like, it's at 6. It was at 6, you saw that. But it acted like it was much higher. Now I'm gonna be honest, this feels a little too slow. So usually when the sensitivity, the up and down feels a lot slower than left and right. When they haven't combined. And I hate that. I wish it was separate. I wish more developers would have the sensitivity a separate option. Some do, some don't. I hate when it's combined because usually up and down movement is too slow compared to left and right, and I can do nothing about it. But I'm not... Again, I'm not sure how hard that is to program. I just want to point that out for you guys and anybody wanting to make games and wish to make them for console. Just keep that in mind. That and one thing I have to praise you for. You have the text the perfect size. If you're gonna make a game, please keep the text. Like, this is the perfect size. Keep it this size. Because there was a point where, like, for some reason, all developers were making the text really tiny. I'm not sure if it was to save screen space or to, well, one explanation I heard was to reduce seizures, but I don't see how that would reduce seizures. Like, the subtitles are there for those who are hard of hearing. But to make it small in it doesn't help those who are hard of seeing. Like, my eyesight isn't that bad. It's just when you have the text so tiny, I can't see it. Like that's fine. I can read that. From how far away I'm sitting, I can read that. That's perfect. But they would have it a lot tinier. You couldn't even read it. Like, I feel like it was impossible to read. Then some games recently let you adjust it. Which I like that. Naughty Dog is one who always put a lot of options in their options menu. Like with the accessibility and whatnot. Which to say, not everybody's vision is the same. So I at least keep it the text big, or at least make an option to do so. Like, I'm no game developer, but I don't know. Just how I feel like it should work. Yeah, and about the looking, that's that's not an indication of a controller being bad to look with. That's just, it wasn't programmed properly. Like, I swear I'm not hitting up. I swear I'm hitting directly to the right. And it's just doing that. I don't know. Maybe it's too... I don't know. Also, another thing with the sensitivity, have an option for smoothing. So, like, it gradually speeds up instead of being fast instantly. Because I found that to be really good. It makes looking around a lot better. Like, instantly snap over there. That is what I think I hated about the most, playing on a computer. How it was like goddamn instant. I didn't like that. Anyway, let's get to the game. Just please keep that in mind. Other than that, I don't really have an issue. Oh, and I should mention, don't make it the sensitivity too slow. Because there is a game, Antarctica 88, I believe it's called. I should point out, even on the... I'm using the touchpad at the moment. I don't know who would use that to look around, really. I guess it's a neat touch. Not many games use the touchpad. Some did near the beginning. Or the motion controls, for that matter. GTA did a little bit. Heck, in first-person mode. For me to throw a grenade, I believe I swipe up. For me to reload, I swipe down, if I wanted. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't really use it. But anyway, back to Antarctica 88. It looks like a good game. It feels like... The only thing that's hampering it is the controls. This is about as fast as you move to look around. I am not shitting. It's so slow and you can't adjust it. You want to look around fast, you have to use the touchpad, which is terrible. Another thing, guys, if you want to make games, please test them. Please test them. Because going that slow to have to look around is not good, especially when you have to be fast to defend yourself. Like, I couldn't really play the game that much because of that. I couldn't stand having to do like this. I don't know what they were thinking. Oh, and there was a game, I forget what it's called, but it looked like a hybrid between Far Cry and The Forest. Like, it looked like it had Far Cry gameplay with The Forest elements, like crafting and stuff. It looked good in the screenshots and stuff, but when I played it, it controlled so bad. The hitboxes were shitty. One of the first weapons I got was a screwdriver, and there was a guy shooting at me, and it wasn't connecting. Also, when you underwater, you can't see a damn thing. I hate when games do that. I hate that Dead Island does that. That's not how that works. Yeah, it's gonna be blurry. Not that blurry. I won't say it's completely clear like in Minecraft, but sheesh. Anyway, let's get to the game. So, laundry, huh? Dirty clothes. I wonder if that's a common pizza box label. Or if, like, I wonder if they used a... How do I put this? I wonder if Papa Como used, like, ordered pizza and used the pizza box to render the one in here. Or they just took one from online because these are used where I live. I don't know if it's a common one or not. It's either that or they live where I live, which would be interesting. If they did, but I don't know if they do. But yeah, that's I instantly recognized that when I first played. Still, the couple horror movies I have. Nothing better to sit down to at the end of the day. True. True. I like a nice horror movie. It's not the best in the world, but it was free. Well, still haven't had time to unpack yet. Not sure what I will. Yeah, those are... Sorry, I see those pizza boxes a lot. Dartboard! By the way, I know that I played Lego Harry Potter. I don't know that I'm going to play Hogwarts Legacy. At least not for the channel. I don't like doing RPGs. Because it would take me forever. And I don't really want to do that. I don't really know how long it is or if it has a definitive ending. But I have it pre-ordered. It's a small black and white TV. It's completely cube-shaped, which I guess somewhere. But man, if I'm not getting nostalgia... I hate this thing. I have tricks in my body I didn't even know was possible. I know that. Filled with pencils and handwritten research papers. I don't know that feeling. Mine were all on a thumb drive. I wiped the thumb drive, since I no longer needed that stuff on it. But not before I posted some of the stuff on there from Photoshop class onto DeviantArt. Wish I had Photoshop, but I don't. My name's George. I wouldn't go through them without a mask. Rude. I'm honestly too mad to talk to Liam right now. Let him get over his hangover by himself. Look, I don't know what happened between you two. But I certainly don't take your side in this. No, that's not me being sexist. It's mostly my psych books. I have read at least each of these at least twice. It's me being realistic. Seems to me you didn't want the baby. So, you should have wrapped it before you tapped it. Should have been on the pill. There are so many contraceptives that I can't really take the sob story. I'm sorry. Not saying they aren't guaranteed to work, just saying. You have that option. Shame to say I've started to rely on soda to keep me up through the day. Yeah, some soda has caffeine in it, but I don't think it's enough to keep you wired. Alright, I think that's all the dirty laundry. Time to go to the basement. Look, I know that sounds controversial, but seriously. It's your choice to screw without a condom. You didn't have to do that. No one I should call, especially at this hour. Nothing inside interesting inside. I'm saving up for a vacuum so I can clean this place properly. I'm sorry if you think that's sexist. It isn't. I didn't say she was at fault. I'm saying they both had the choice of using a condom. There are female condoms. There's diaphragms. There's so many contraceptives. There's really no excuse for it. It's your own damn fault. Look, even though I'm gay, I still have to wrap it. STDs are still a thing. Whether you're straight, gay, or bi, or whatever. Just because I don't have to worry about kids doesn't mean I'm scot-free. Kitchen cabinets. I worked really hard to clean them out, and I'm proud they have stayed clean. It's held up well until recently. Now it lets off a pungent odor. God, am I gonna forget that? I went to make popcorn one day. I don't know what happened. But I put in the time, pressed start, the light, usually yellow, was green, and it didn't sound right. I don't know why I let it finish popping. I didn't need it, I threw it away. I let somebody know. I thought I broke it. It was broke before, but I never knew. But good lord. It worked surprisingly well. I went shopping last week, so it's pretty full right now. Still haven't had time to unpack yet. Not sure when I will. Oh, I read that. Yeah, though, let that be a lesson for you guys. Wrap it before you tap it, or you might end up in this situation. Like, if it happened to me, I'm not gonna leave. Even though I'd be a terrible parent. I'm terrible because I can barely keep taking can barely take care of myself, is what I mean. A nice man lives here. It's good to know you have at least one good neighbor. Honestly, I don't know if any of my neighbors are good. I'd assume some aren't, but the one that killed my cat. You better hope I never find out who you were. The headline reads, Womb Ripper Strikes Again. In the early hours of the 30th, authorities were called when a passerby found a terribly mangled corpse haphazardly tossed on the nearby grounds. Sources indicate that the woman was indeed pregnant, and just like previous victims, the fetus was cut out and assumed to be, I thought that said eaten, assumed to be taken by the assailant. This is now the fourth victim in as many weeks, and authorities are struggling to come up with leads in one of the most gruesome crime sprees the city has ever endured. A woman and her son live here. Now that I think about it, I haven't seen either one in about a week. If you think I was being sexist, no. I wasn't focusing on the one, I was focusing on both. That looks like, almost like no, never mind, the texture in Half-Life is different. I'm surprised they take any safety precautions in this death trap. Sounds exactly like Wrath. In fact, I'm sure he would have a few choice words. I don't need to go to that floor. Besides, one of the people on this floor has a mean dog they keep in the hole. I don't know that I've ever met a mean dog. I don't need to go through there. I can run, but I can't tell the difference. Like, it's just... Well, now I do. I'm a little tired. Not sure what it's doing down here. Good point, because I don't see a garage door. Musty box. I don't think anything inside would interest me. You never know when you open it. God, I'm already feeling a little terrified. It's empty. An exposed electrical box. Nice. Sale of the old porno rags. Might be worth a penny or two if they weren't drenched in dubious stains. Oh, I think we know exactly what those stains are. And rag, if you don't know, is slang for magazine. Let's see what's inside. Rat droppings, trash, and spiders. This one is empty. I feel like that's the best case scenario. This one is jammed. You know, that's a funny thing. Of all the things I was bullied and beaten up for, I was never once shoved in a locker. I can fit. I could fit. I could probably still fit. I never did it, though. Also, I never got any swirlies or web willies or wedgies. Nobody ever stole my lunch money. Can't interact with the door. Smells like it hasn't been taken out in months. Good lord. A toolbox. Our janitor would kill me if I rummaged through his things. Even though I really doubt he uses any of these. I can't help but think of negatively of janitors now ever since Horsham. If you're just finding my channel, I have depression. I spent a week in a mental health clinic. And it was terrible there. It's very unclean. You can find on the internet. You can find their website. The screenshots are a fucking sham. Although I don't know if it was just my unit that was dirty or all the units were. It's actually god awful inside. Even some of the nurses are assholes. I'm trying to figure out how to say this because I don't want to sound racist. But one of the doctors was black, and I questioned his credentials. Not because he was black, but he asked me if there's any health concerns they should be aware of. I told him I have sleep paralysis. He said, oh, everybody has that. No. True, when you sleep, you're paralyzed. Sleep paralysis, you wake up during that period. You can't move. You hallucinate. That's what I have. I tried to explain it to him, but he kept brushing it off like it wasn't real. That's why I questioned his credentials. Then one of the nurses, again, I'm not saying it because she's black. That had nothing to do with it. But she was mean. And just to prove, one of the white nurses was also mean. She pretty much couldn't care less about the patients. So if you ever got blood drawn, normally the nurse doing it will put pressure on it. Might think this is weird, but it's to prevent it from pulling underneath the skin and creating a bruise. She didn't. She didn't even have all her supplies. She stuck the needle in me, took the blood. Left for a second to grab a band-aid, came back, stuck it on, didn't put any pressure. Like, really? But back to the janitor, who, unfortunately, I have to say, was also black. I'm not saying... I have to emphasize that I'm not saying he was terrible because he's black. I am saying he's terrible because he was bad at his job. I would say the same thing if it was a white person. Or Asian, or whatever. If you're bad at your job, you're bad at your job. It has nothing to do with race or whatever. I saw him going in my room to clean. Later, when I went into my room, he didn't even touch anything. I mean, some of the black nurses were nice. But God, if you're in that profession, you're just a spiteful piece of shit. Why the hell did you take the oath? Because that job is all about caring for people. You clearly don't care why are you working that job. Need to wash my clothes before I dry them. What? Out of order? What am I gonna do now? I should probably go back upstairs and figure something out. I think I heard something coming from that closet. Yeah! I did actually jump, even though I played this a little bit, like... Nah, I don't want to say yesterday. Day before? Damn it, Hobo Joe.
Damn, girl, you scared the bejesus out of me.
I scared you? You scared me. What the hell are you doing creeping around down here?
Look, I'm sorry for scaring you. I'll tell you, but can you keep this to yourself?
Jesus Christ, Joe, you're insane. Yeah, I can. What's up?
The missus kicked me out and it's too cold outside, so I'm trying to wait her out down here. I really didn't mean to creep on you. Honest.
I believe you. Just next time, maybe don't go around slinging doors open and hiding in the dark.
Use an A position. Or A pose, rather.
I will. Thanks, kid. Say, if you want to use the washing machine, it's broken.
Yeah, thanks. I figured that out.
Well, kind of. So A position... People sometimes refer to that to T position. It's not T-posing. His arms would be straight out. And his legs would be together. A position, also a default position. Your arms are out like an A. And your legs. It's also a default position. Similar to the T-pose. Occasionally, maybe you might be able to spot if an entity spawned in, there'll be T-pose or A-pose. Occasionally, if something glitches, that might happen. If you played Goat Simulator 3, one of the taunts for the... Well, one's not human. One's a scarecrow. Two of them are human, but one's a scarecrow. Those characters, they have a T-pose taunt. That's also the default position for if you're doing motion capture. Which I feel like that'd be cool to do. God, speaking of, I've seen the behind the scenes for Smaug. I think in The Hobbit. He's voiced and motion acted by Benedict Cumberbatch. That was cool to see him in the mocap gear, acting it out as he's voicing it. Damn, that was cool. Man, I've said a lot of controversial stuff this episode that might not be PC, but I never cared about being PC. Newspaper. God, I swear, from a distance, you don't even notice him. Or at least I don't. But as I get closer, it looks like a prop up against the door. I guess I'm saying he's like a little too flat. I don't know. I guess I'll have to talk to him in the next episode. Till then, I'm Zombie Blazel, stay zombie, and I'm out.